Hello and welcome to this new video tutorial of multi-vendor marketplace GDPR for the Magento 2 platform-based web store. And in today's video tutorial, we'll be showing you how the marketplace sellers, customers can access and request for their personal info and how they can update their info as well by requesting the same to the marketplace admin. So before we proceed to the storefront and to show you the functionality of this particular plugin, that's the multi-vendor marketplace GDPR for Magento 2 by Webkul. Let me give you a small gist about this plugin itself. So basically, this plugin would make the Webkul marketplace compliant with the General Data Protection Regulation, and this plugin follows all the latest European Union regulations and guidelines for user data protection. Apart from that, there are many options available for viewing, accessing, erasing, or updating the seller private data as well. So let's go to the storefront and let's see how this particular plugin works within the multi-vendor marketplace itself. So let's go to the front end now. So right now I'm at the web store here, as you can see, and I'm on the create new customer account right now. So basically under this section, the customers would have to accept the terms and conditions before creating their account within the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace web store by Webkul. So for that, you just need to check this option before creating the account and just tap here, and that would bring up the what we say as the agreement. So after going through this particular agreement, you can close it out, and then you can proceed further to create your new account within the web store itself. So that was how the web store admin can set up the option wherein the customers would have to view and accept the agreement before creating an account within the web store itself. So now this particular content that we have within this particular agreement, this can be set by the admin itself, and that gets displayed to the customers within this particular pop-up, as you can see here. So now let me show you how the customers would be able to request their data to the web store owner. And for that, what I'll be doing is I'll be logging into my customer account first. So here I'll enter my email and the password, and then tap on the login button to proceed further and log into my marketplace customer account. So after I've logged into my customer account, on the left hand side you can see that this is my particular customer account, and within the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace plugin itself, as the customer is also a can also be a seller as well. So that's why we have this customer dashboard, customer block here with the account options, and the marketplace block with the particular seller account options. So here we have the data request option that can be tapped by the customer, and that basically brings up this section here, that is the customer data request. And within that, the customers can request the data access, they can request for the data update, they can request for a data delete as well. Apart from that, the customers can check the particular request list within which all of their requests would be listed. So they can also search the same using the description of the request, the status, whether the status of that request was pending, processing, complete, or declined. They can also filter it using all or the update request and the delete request. Otherwise, they can also choose to filter it out using the created at and the updated at feature that is here basically. So for example, if I choose processing, you'll see that it would filter out the request list, and it will refresh once first. So let's scroll down, and now you can see that I've chosen the request status as processing. So right now there are no requests that are processing, so I'll just choose as all, and this would again filter out the request and would display them that would be having the request status as all, and here you can see that all of them are now displayed. So here you can see that under the description we have the description for the request and the rest of the status and the type here and the dates. Now for example, if you want request for the data here, so you can tap here on the get PDF button to get the data in a PDF format. Otherwise, if you want the data in hypertext markup language or the HTML, then you can tap this button. So let's open this get PDF so as to get data. So I've just opened that in another window, the get PDF, and you can see that the customer data has been downloaded in the PDF format. Now let me tap here and let's open this particular data. So here you can see that we have the store wise data here, like the account information of this particular customer, the details, email, and the rest of the details. So this is just a demo customer that I had just created, so that's why I've not set up the middle name, the suffix, date of birth, and other. So I'll just show you how we can access the data basically. So that was the account information. Then we have the address information of the customer. So here you'll be able to see all of the addresses that have been saved apart from the main address. Then we have the order information as well for the customer. So here you can see the orders that the customer has placed within the web store itself, along with the products within each of the respective orders as well. And apart from that, the customers can see the billing address that was used for the same app. And along that, the customers can also see the payment data, for example the data that is regarding the payments that have been made by the customer, and some additional information as well. So if I scroll down a bit much, similarly we'll have the details of the other orders as well, as you can see. So for each respective order we'll have the details of the products within that, and the billing address that has been chosen for that, and the payment data for that as well. And so that was how we can get the data from the store itself for the customer. And you can see how long this particular PDF file is, that has all of the details of the store for the customer. Now let's go back, and if you want it in HTML, let me open that up. So I'll just open it in another window for you. So this is in the HTML format, as you can see, with the default store view. It's the store view wise data. So you can see the account info, the address info, the different addresses that are there, then the order information section having all of the orders, all of the respective orders, and each respective order is displaying the number of products within that with the name and the rest of the details. And under that particular order, the billing address used, the payment data, and the shipping address used is also being displayed, as you can see, for the order number 1. And if we scroll down, we have the order number 2, the same details, and so on and so forth. That was how we can request the data access. Then we have the request data update. So here the customer can update the description by entering basically here the customer can ask the admin to update the data. So for example, if we want to update our account information within which we want to change the surname or the last name, so we can enter the description for that particular update that we want the admin to make within our account panel. So for example, if I type in change last name to DORO, Doro, all right. And now the customer can submit this particular request for the update. And let's tap here on the submit request button. So basically that's how we can request the data update to the store admin by entering the update description and then tapping here on the submit request button. Now you can see that there's already a pending update request from this particular customer. So after that request has been completed, only then would this new request be submitted to the admin for the approval, and then the data update can be done. So let's move to the next one. Then we have the request data delete. So here you need to enter the reason that why you are requesting for a data delete. Maybe you are asking for deleting your shipping and the billing address, or maybe other things as well. So for that you just need to enter the delete reason. For example, if I say delete address number 2, along with we need to enter the reason as well. So you can set up the reason as well. Address changed for the number 2. All right. So thereafter you just need to tap here on the submit request button, and the delete reason would then be submitted to the admin for the approval. So if we tap here on the submit request button, so here you can see that the data delete request has been successfully submitted right now. Now here you can see that we had sent out 2 different requests. The first one that was for update was not submitted because we already had it pending, because we already had this particular request pending there, the 6th one, and then we requested for the deletion of the data. So here we had the delete address number 2, so the request is pending, and the request type is delete, and one is update along with the date and time. So that's how the customers can basically request for the data, and how they can delete the data, and how they can update the data as well for their account there. So that was about the customer end, and now let's see how the marketplace vendors would be able to do the same. So if I scroll down, and here we'll have this particular marketplace block that we can see right now, and here we have the data request option. So let me tap that up, and that would bring up the data request section for the marketplace vendor. And we almost have the similar thing here as well. So we can request for an update or deletion of the data as well, and can download the data as well for the seller. So right now I'm logged into my account, as you can see here at the top. So to request the data access in PDF, you can tap here on the get PDF. Otherwise, if you want to have it in HTML, just tap here on the HTML. So let me open both of them in 2 different windows. So this is for the request data access. So you will be accessing your complete data within the web store itself. So here we have the seller data PDF. Let me open that up. So here you can see the store name, the account information, and then we have the address. Then here you can see that we have the product information for the vendor. So here a complete list of all of the products for this vendor are being displayed, along with the price, the type of the products that this vendor has, their status, how many quantity have been confirmed, the pending one, the sold one, and the total earned amount by the vendor himself. And apart from that, for each order as well, the vendor can find the order information. So here you can see that here we have the order ID, and then the product name that was within that, the SKU, the price, the quantity, how many have been ordered, how many have been invoiced and shipped, and this has the complete detail of the orders. So you can check the order info there. Then you have the transaction information here, and you'll be able to check whether the marketplace admin has made the transactions into your account for your amount. So for that you can with the transaction information with the date, the ID, the comment, and the transaction amount here. So here you can see that the seller amount is paid for the order number for order number 1. So that's how the vendor can check his transaction information as well from the downloaded PDF format for his data. And the same brings up in the HTML format as well, the account information, then the address information, then we have the product info, and then we'll be having the order info. So here we have order number 98, it has 1 product. Similarly, we have all of the other products as well, all of the other orders as well, with the complete details of what was there in that particular order. And lastly, the transaction information for the vendors as well. So that was how these vendors can request the data. So similarly, the vendors can also request the data update, change first name. So that's just an example for that, and tap here on the submit request button thereafter. Alright, the same is showing here as well, that we already have a pending update request. So let's check for the vendor here, the vendor dashboard data request. And alright, so here you can see that please update my shipping address. That was the last request that this vendor had requested for, and still it's in pending there. So after it has been completed, only then the vendor can apply for updating the data there within the store. So now let's come to the request for the data delete. So here you will be entering the delete reason along with what you exactly want to delete. For example, if I type in test data or product information or auto information, whatever the need is, along with the reason as well. Alright, so you just need to enter the reason as well, and then you just need to tap here on the submit request button for the same, and this request would then be sent out to the marketplace admin to approve. So then the admin can delete the data. Alright, the delete request has been submitted successfully. And lastly, as we can see, we have the description, request status, request type, created at and updated at data here for the vendor to check. So that was how the vendors and the customers of the multi-vendor marketplace can request the data for the updation and deletion, and can also download the data as well. So it basically goes with the European Union data. Actually, it's the European Union General Data Protection Regulation. So it's basically the latest EU guidelines or the regulations that provide control to the users or their personal information or data. All right, and this basically acts as a very crucial role in the e-commerce industry nowadays. Now let's go to the admin backend panel. Let's see what initial configurations are there and how the admin can manage the request and the delete data from the admin backend panel. So for that, let's go to the admin panel now. So here we are at the admin backend panel. So I'll be entering my username and password for my Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace web store, and then tap on the sign in button thereafter. We'll also be showing you how the customers would have to accept the cookies that the admin has set up from the admin backend panel. So we'll show you that in just a while from now, after the initial configurations are done. After I've logged into my account panel, I'll be making the initial configuration. So I'll just navigate through stores and then configuration. And in the meantime, here you can see that I've just opened this particular store page for the login, and on the bottom left hand corner you can see that the customer needs to accept the cookies so that the customers could be provided with the personalized experience. So for the first time when you visit this particular web store, you'll have this. You just need to tap here on the got it button, and thereafter it would not be displayed up till 1 day. And the admin can set the position of this cookie acceptance block here from the admin backend panel of this particular plugin within the configuration settings itself. So now let's get back to the panel. That's the backend panel for the initial configurations. And on the configuration page under the Webkul block, you just need to navigate to the Marketplace GDPR settings. Just tap that up, and that will bring up the initial configuration settings for the plugin itself. So here we have 4 different sections to configure. The first one is the general, wherein you'll be able to enable this particular functionality by choosing a yes. Otherwise, to disable, just choose a no option for that. So then we have the customer agreement settings, and here you can see that we can enable the customer data agreement. So if you want to display the data agreement to the customers or the vendors before they create an account at your web store, you can enable this particular functionality where you can provide them with the agreement to which they need to accept. So choose yes for that, otherwise choose a no for that, and then you can set up the agreement checkbox label. So for example, we have set it as I agree to the terms and conditions, and then you can enter or you can paste here the agreement content that you have for your marketplace store. So let me give you an example where exactly this gets visible. So it's the create new customer account page, as you can see, and if I go down here, we have this checkbox, and here we have the I agree to the terms and conditions, and if I tap on that, this is the content that we are putting here within the backend panel. Then we have the cookie message settings. You can set up the enable cookie notice, so you can choose a yes to display it when the customer arrives at your store the first time. You can set up the cookie block display position, so we had shown you it was on the bottom left hand corner. You can also set it as at a bottom right corner. You can also set up the cookie static block identifier. So basically within this particular section, the admin has to enter the static block identifier code to display the static block at the storefront. So basically whenever you install this particular module, automatically a default static block will be created, and the admin can create other new static blocks as well, or can edit within the default static block that we have already, that has been created automatically at the installation of this particular plugin. So let me show you how the admin can do that. For that, we just need to navigate through content, and then we'll be going to the block section. Let me open that in the window. So in the meantime, let's complete the last settings, that's the email template settings, and then we'll go to the block section there. So here we can see that we have the data update request template. So you can choose the email that would be sent out for the update request template. Similarly, the data delete request template is there, and the request status update template is there. So you can choose the default ones that we have provided for this particular plugin. And lastly, you just need to tap here on the save configuration button to make the initial configurations. And let's go to the block section now. Also, before going to the block section for this cookie static block identifier thing, for example, how the admin would be able to check the data request of the users. So for that, the admin needs to navigate through customers, and then under GDPR we have the GDPR data requests, and here the admin can find all of the requests that have been submitted by the marketplace users. And so here we can see that we are on the GDPR data request section, and here all of the customer emails are visible to the admin, and from here the admin can choose any of the requests, and from the drop down can update the status as pending processing, complete or declined as required. Apart from that, he can also filter out the request using the ID updated at the website, like the different store views, the request type, and the request status, and the request message can also be used to apply the filters for the GDPR data request from the store front end. And to check, basically here only the customer data request would be seen. To check the marketplace seller request, the admin has to navigate through marketplace management, and then under GDPR we have the GDPR data request. Let me open that up in another window. So here the admin can navigate like this, marketplace management and the GDPR data request, and here we have all of the seller emails, and from the actions drop down the admin can change the status to pending processing, complete or declined by choosing the request and applying the respective actions to the same. Apart from that, the admin can see the request message and the request status as well, and the request type like the update or delete, and the website from where the request has been sent. So basically in pending state, the customer or the vendor sends a request that will be initially pending. Within the processing, it means that it is to notify the customer or the seller that your request is being received and we are working on that. Similarly, for the complete means that the user requests are done as per their requirement, and the decline means that the admin can simply has basically rejected the requests. So that was how the admin can access the different requests from the vendors and the customers of the multi-vendor marketplace web store for the Magento 2 platform. And now let's go to the block section, and here you can see that we already have this default cookie block, and from the drop down you can delete or edit it. Otherwise, if you want to create a new block, you can tap here on the add new block button that we have on the top right hand side. So if you want to edit, you can check this up and you can tap here in the edit option. And here basically we can also make this is the quick edit basically. So we'll just go for a complete edit. So that would be under the actions column here by tapping here on the edit link that we have, and that would bring up the edit. Alright, actually I have some issues with that there in for that particular page right now. So here you can see that you can also access the user guide of this particular plugin to understand the complete flow and check the demo as well. So here's the cookie block, and after we have chosen the edit option for that particular cookie block, you can see the block title, identify, the store view, and from here you can set up the same and as per your own requirement there. So that was much about the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace GDPR plugin. And if you have any questions, queries, suggestions, or requirements, then you can always get back to us at support@webkul.com, or you may raise a ticket at webkul.ubdesk.com. Thanks for watching this particular video and have a great day ahead.